Right now, a bizarre stadium idea is taking shape in Portland, and although it hasn't been fully approved, it's surprisingly close to becoming real. Known for its stunning nature, artsy vibes, and world-class craft beer, Portland is missing one thing it really wants: an MLB team. After decades of flirting with the big leagues, the city might finally get its chance, but in the weirdest way possible. They're planning to build a stadium before they even have a team. And somehow, that's not even the strangest part. The funding plan? Let's just say it's not going to thrill the locals. With a retractable roof, an eye-catching design, and a jaw-dropping price tag, the Diamond Stadium is firing up imaginations. And when something sounds this good, doubts are never far behind. Let's take a closer look at what could become the most expensive sports project in Oregon's history. This is not Portland's first flirtation with Major League Baseball, but it might be its boldest. For decades, the city has hovered on the edge of joining the big leagues. In the early 2000s, Portland briefly hosted the Portland Beavers, a AAA team that shared a crumbling stadium with soccer's Portland Timbers. But when Providence Park was renovated to suit MLS needs, baseball was benched, and the city lost its team.
I've done my own survey, and you're always going to say, you know, we only need 30,000. We got 4 million in the state. 30,000, I'll guarantee you there's 30,000 fans out. I'm not even worried about it. It's just that we've never had the sophisticated leadership.
Fast forward to the late 2010s, and a group of investors, former athletes, and local developers began to ask a simple question. What if Portland built a stadium first and used it to attract a team? Thus, the Portland Diamond Project was born. Spearheaded by former Nike executive Craig Cheek and backed by baseball legend Darwin Barney and Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson, the initiative wasn't just a pitch to MLB, it was a citywide vision to transform Portland's waterfront into a sports and cultural destination. The idea was simple in theory, but ambitious in scope. Build a world-class stadium in a part of the city primed for redevelopment and use it as leverage to bring professional baseball to Oregon. The chosen site, Zidell Yards, is no accident. Once home to Portland's industrial shipbuilding industry, the 33-acre lot sits at the edge of the south waterfront, wedged between the Ross Island and Tillicum Crossing bridges. It's one of the last large undeveloped tracts near downtown, and it offers sweeping views of the Willamette River, direct access to Portland's streetcar, MAX light rail, and bike paths, and proximity to Oregon Health and Science University. In short, it's a logistical dream. The Portland Diamond Project tapped Populous, the world-renowned sports architecture firm behind Yankee Stadium in New York, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, and many other stadiums, to lead design efforts. For engineering and construction management, the team has partnered with Mortenson, a national firm with deep experience in large-scale stadium builds, including the Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle. And while the setting is iconic and the team behind it is elite, the question remains, how do you fund a billion-dollar stadium in a city without a team? That's where things get even more interesting. The vision behind the Portland Diamond Project is the ultimate proof of just how far the city is willing to go to join the major leagues. Everything about this ballpark is designed to make a statement, not just to baseball fans, but to the entire sports world.
This is going to be a world-class, state-of-the-art, 32,000-seat stadium with a retractable roof, so it will be a civic asset for 365 days a year.
Set to hold around 32,000 fans, the stadium strikes a deliberate balance between scale and intimacy. It's large enough to host marquee events, but compact enough to feel personal, to keep every seat close to the action. Unlike the cavernous stadiums of decades past, this one is built for energy, noise, and connection. The kind of place where even the upper deck feels like part of the story. And it won't look like a typical steel and concrete arena either. The design embraces the natural textures of the Pacific Northwest, with warm wood finishes, sweeping glass panels, and open-air concourses that frame views of the Willamette River, Mount Hood, and Portland's skyline. The stadium is being shaped not just to fit within the city, but to belong to it. And when the sun hits the timber details and reflects off the water just beyond the outfield wall, It's easy to imagine it becoming one of the most photogenic stadiums in America. At the heart of the design is a fully retractable roof, a feature that transforms the stadium into a year-round venue. Portland's unpredictable weather won't be a problem here. The roof, when open, will offer a full outdoor experience with clean sightlines and fresh air, and when closed, it'll become a climate-controlled dome, ready for concerts, conventions, or late-season playoff games. It's flexibility without compromise, much like the stadiums in Toronto or Seattle, but with Portland's own twist. The field is expected to feature natural grass, chosen to suit Portland's climate and deliver the classic ballpark aesthetic with a modern twist. While the exact type of turf hasn't been finalized, possibilities include durable, visually rich Kentucky bluegrass blends. Plans also envision advanced drainage systems to keep the surface playable during the region's rainy stretches, a critical feature for the Pacific Northwest. And above the field? Prepare for a spectacle. The stadium will feature a massive, high-definition LED scoreboard, a digital centerpiece designed for real-time replays, interactive fan moments, and cinematic intros. Throughout the venue, additional screens and smart signage will keep fans informed, connected, and entertained from every angle. But it's not just the big things that matter. The stadium is envisioned as an experience, from diverse culinary offerings that celebrate Portland's iconic food scene to family-friendly zones with play areas and activities for kids. Concepts also include social lounges, rooftop viewing decks, and local craft beer stands. Fans wouldn't just come for the game, they'd come for the atmosphere. Surrounding the ballpark, the current vision includes a vibrant mixed-use district with restaurants, retail, residential buildings, and open-air plazas for community events like farmers markets. As imagined, the stadium would connect to Portland's streetcar lines, light rail, bike paths, and even offer river access for water taxis and boat mooring, making it accessible from nearly every direction. While compelling, these features remain conceptual for now, with final designs still evolving as planning progresses. It all sounds like the perfect fit for Portland's urban fabric, modern, connected, and full of local flavor. But behind all the ambition lies a question that still hasn't been answered. Will it actually happen? While construction is scheduled for 2027, projects of this scale rarely move from vision to reality without facing hurdles, and the Portland Diamond Project is no exception. Some of the biggest challenges, like how Portland plans to fund it, are still unfolding, with decisions in the months ahead that could make or break the entire effort. The Portland Diamond Project has ignited both enthusiasm and debate within the community.
This is very, very specific and only identified towards construction of the ballpark. The rest of the ancillary development will be on us on the private side.
Central to the discourse is the project's financing strategy, which seeks a substantial public investment. In March 2025, the Portland Diamond Project formally approached the Oregon legislature with a request for $800 million in state-backed bonds to help finance the construction of a new Major League Baseball stadium in Portland. This proposal builds on the precedent set by Senate Bill 5, passed in 2003, which authorized up to $150 million in bonds, contingent on Portland securing an MLB franchise. The repayment plan is designed to be self-sustaining, using state income taxes generated from the salaries of both home team employees and visiting players, a mechanism often referred to as the jock tax. This approach aims to fund the stadium without imposing new taxes on Oregon residents or diverting existing public resources. The bonds would be repaid over a 30-year period, after which any ongoing tax revenue would flow into the state's general fund. While the $800 million in state-backed bonds would cover the bulk of the stadium's projected $1.2 billion price tag, the remaining $400 million is expected to come from private investments, corporate sponsorships, and other non-public funding sources. Although specific financing details have not yet been disclosed, the Portland Diamond Project has indicated a commitment to securing the rest through private capital, consistent with funding models used in other modern stadium developments. Public opinion on the Portland Diamond Project remains divided. Supporters, including city leaders like Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler, see the stadium as a potential catalyst for economic revitalization. They argue it could create jobs, attract tourism, and energize the city's cultural landscape. The vision extends beyond baseball, a year-round venue hosting concerts, festivals, and community events that stimulate local businesses and add vibrancy to Portland's urban core. But not everyone is on board. Critics question the use of public funds for a private sports facility, especially in light of Oregon's pressing needs in areas like education, healthcare, and infrastructure. Some residents are wary of promises that don't always pan out, pointing to other cities where stadiums failed to deliver the expected economic returns. The debate reflects a broader tension: how to balance ambitious development with fiscal responsibility and public trust. Despite the divide, the project has gained significant institutional momentum. In October 2024, the Portland City Council unanimously passed a resolution endorsing the Diamond Project's efforts to bring Major League Baseball to the city. The resolution signaled a commitment to collaborate with stakeholders and explore city resources that could support the plan, highlighting its potential social, economic, and cultural benefits. Still, the road ahead is anything but guaranteed. The stadium's future depends on several critical factors: legislative approval for public funding, successful negotiations with MLB for an expansion or relocation team, and meaningful community engagement to address ongoing concerns. If realized, the stadium could become a landmark addition to Portland's skyline, a symbol of the city's innovation and love for sport. At this crossroads, the story of the Portland Diamond Project is still unfolding, and it may well shape the city's identity for decades to come. Ready to be amazed by the next groundbreaking construction project? Click on the video now and dive into a world where engineering and imagination collide. See you there.